A lot of hot things happening right now. I don't know if you all caught the Luka Doncic. He is now on the Lakers. He had his debut and against the Jazz, and it did not disappoint. Are you a fan of the Lakers? Lakers, Celtics, they are polarizing teams for me, at least. My heart has always been with the Celtics ever since I've been a NBA fan, but I am a player-driven person, especially in the NBA. You could say I am a fair weather hopper of teams because when LeBron came out, I loved LeBron so much when he came out of high school, and I had to switch my favorite team to the Cavs, and I was diehard Cavs, and I loved them so much for so many years, and I felt like my heart was broken too many times, especially when he went down to Miami, and I kind of jumped ship, in that sense, it's because I live in Kansas City, and we do not have an NBA team actually where I'm located, so I had to choose a NBA team. So I picked the Boston Celtics because they are my favorite all-time player is Larry Bird. So I went with the Boston Celtics when I started loving the NBA, which was probably about in middle school. But since we don't have a team in Kansas City, it was hard to just completely buy in. So I bounced around a little bit, and I ended up jumping from LeBron to Curry, and there was a few years that the Celtics were awesome, and I stuck with them because they're my tried and true team. But have you seen this Luka Doncic guy? I know he's been actually going for a while, and I looked a little bit of his history, and he started professionally when he was like 13 years old, and he is Slovenian, so he's from the European League, and so he started with New Madrid or something like that, and he was just a firecracker, a dynamite right from the get-go, and he's got an amazing personality. If you've actually saw some of his stuff, he's so interesting and so fun to watch. But him coming to the Lakers, this could be, for me at least, a reuniting of my love for LeBron James, because I have definitely fell away from following him. I know if you're old school or you're new school, you kind of have this debate whether it's Michael Jordan or LeBron James, and I've always landed on Michael Jordan. Even when I love LeBron James, I would say Jordan is the GOAT of all time. But LeBron was always just so... I felt a connection with him because when he was coming out of high school, I was coming out of high school. So it's like I could still be playing in the NBA right now. I could still be playing in the NBA. If I had maybe that length of LeBron James, and those hops. But I felt a connection with him because he was in basically my same age, and I don't know what it was. I maybe in a sense because I don't have that tie with an NBA team in where we live, it's been tough to completely be bought and sold on the NBA, and I've kind of wish-washed and went back and forth. I definitely fell away, when it became so political. But for me, this Luka Doncic coming to the Lakers, it is almost going to spark something, make the NBA interesting again, because I'm not alone in this. The NBA has not been interesting whatsoever. It has not been fun to watch. It became so political, and it became just the teams don't play until April. Everybody checks out. It's not like the 90s basketball where every game, Michael Jordan, when he was playing, he thought I don't know who's coming to this game, who saved up to bring their kid to this game. So I'm going to give everything I can on every 82 games of the year, every game. And I don't know if we'll ever see that again, that kind of determination and just fire from an individual like Michael Jordan. There's only one Michael Jordan. And it's just the NBA back then was just so old school. It was the school of hard knocks for anybody. But to me, the Lakers taking on Luka Doncic, which I could feel a coming of he becoming my favorite player. And I know I've bounced around from favorite players so many times, but I don't know about you. Are you driven in sports by the players? At least in some sports. NBA is, to me, maybe it's just because we don't got a team, but I don't know what it is. But I would say I am driven definitely by the sports, by the actual player themselves. And I'm going to start getting back into the NBA big time. And the Lakers playing the Jazz was just fire. It was awesome. It did not disappoint whatsoever. Luka came out, and there was an immediate connection with my old friend, my old guy, my old pal, LeBron James, coming back in, like, he never left. I'm the one that kind of like went my own way, and I have to announce this. It was the NBA Finals, and when he was on the Heat, and it was that loss to the Mavericks, way back when, and I was just like, I can't take it anymore, and I jumped ship, and then he went on to win so many after that and became awesome. So it's like I drifted away from the the relationship, but I could definitely come back with this Luka Doncic coming over and coming on the Lakers, because they are going to be awesome for a long time going forward. He is a special player, and he's a young player. He's definitely a young player. He's like only 25 years old, and he's so interesting. You got to have personality, definitely, to drive people to want to come and see you. It can't be just about how awesome you can dunk the ball. There's got to be storylines, and Luka Doncic could possibly be that. And but it's like tearing me in so many different ways, because I haven't wanted to root for the Lakers because of a Celtics fan. But do you all face these type of conundrums in your lives, these dilemmas that you just cannot you gotta it's like think these things through. You gotta have process them in your mind, and how am I going to stand on a position when my favorite team's over here, but my favorite player's over here, and it's tough. It gets tough. All right, and in other news, I might have to go watch again the halftime show that happened this past Super Bowl, because the Kendrick Lamar, it was kind of in the background. I was paying attention a little bit, but it was not at the forefront of my mind, and I didn't actually like the halftime show that much. But now just seeing so many he had so many I don't know, secret things hidden in there and just underneath the surface that he was kind of sending out signals. I almost want to go watch it again and see what it was he actually saying. And I guess there's been, I don't know if you all have heard, there's been this beef between Kendrick Lamar and Drake. I don't know. Is that another thing? Do you got to pick one or the other? Do you got to pick Kendrick or Drake? Can you like them both? Is it, because to me, there was something happening in the show that, you kind of got it from a distance, but when you actually kind of zoom in a little bit, you can see. And if you've seen the videos, he openly dissed him in the Super Bowl, the highest stage you could basically get, the highest stage that anyone could, all eyes are on him, and he openly dissed him. And, you could say they're going back and forth for years now, and there's a lot to that relationship, which is tough to digest and understand. But to do it on that stage, but would Drake would have done the same thing? Who knows? And you should see what he said to him, which is it's kind of a little off-putting, maybe just a little accusatory, or I don't know, or just maybe just ruffling some feathers. He didn't dial it down with what he said. It was definitely strong but subtle. So, and I've had a day to recoup after the loss of my Chiefs, and I can actually think a little clearer. I can actually give a more lucid point of how I understood the game, how I was receiving the game. It was definitely very tough to watch. I don't think going into the fourth quarter, I still had a little bit of hope. that Mahomes was going to do something Mahomesian. I mean, they were down 34 to nothing, wasn't it? It was something like that. They had eclipsed the mark with Tom Brady, where his comeback against the Falcons years ago in the Super Bowl. And in that game, I was like, I know Brady was down, and I seriously said, Brady is going to come back. He's going to come back. And it seemed like there was no chance. And heck, there was 2 minutes left in the third quarter. They're down by 25 points. And I felt that he was going to come back. And I was just locked into that game. And he did. And he came. It was incredible. Fast forward to right now with Mahomes. He is, He's a level above Brady in the sense of awareness. He's a level above Brady in awareness, and just his athleticism and his just, I don't even know, the stuff that Mahomes has got a little bit better than Brady. You know, I mean, you could say a lot better. Brady, the thing about him, he just had that it factor. Like he made it happen kind of thing. It was insane with his career. But I was like, Mahomes, he's gonna come back. I still had some hope almost going into the fourth quarter, but it just maybe it was just that blind naivete of myself, you know, that I thought like he's gonna do something magical. I really believe that. And then also, I mean, so many different storylines happened in the Super Bowl. Travis Kelce, would there have been a proposal? Would there have been a proposal to Taylor Swift had they have won? I don't know, but it didn't happen. And another thing, Taylor Swift getting booed. I'm going to direct that towards Philly fans. I'm saying I'm not even going to hint that maybe it was Philly fans. I'm going to say with clarity, with precision, it was the Philly fans, because you could hear throughout that entire Super Bowl, every play that went for the Chiefs, boo, and every play that went for the Eagles, just cheers, eruption, you know? And so that loud of a noise happening when Taylor Swift went on the Megatron, and you see that meme of her looking, and it's just like, it's not computing what is happening. I'm a Swiftie. I've been open and honest about that. I'm a Swiftie. I'm a Swiftie. I love Taylor Swift. I love her music. I followed her, you know, I guess I haven't followed her, you know, that kind of sounds a little weird. I've actually wanted to go to a Taylor Swift concert, you know, probably for my kids, you know, let them go. But I've actually wanted to see, because she's been always very interesting, and she would put on a great show. So she's always been, you know, you don't need to argue too much for Taylor Swift. So the argument is, how can people boo Taylor Swift? How does that even happen? But it happened. It happened, and I attribute it to the Philly fans. I attribute it, or just the haters of the Chiefs. You got your way. The Chiefs have been dethroned, but you know, there's not a story unless if someone doesn't fall to the bottom and have to grind their way to the top. There's no story. If someone just wins every year and just nonstop every year, there's no story. It becomes boring. It becomes humdum rigmarole, you know? But now the Chiefs have got another chip on their shoulder, another chip, you know, as if they didn't need more, but they got it. So it's been a crazy last few days. I'm going to start thinking a little bit clearer now that the Chiefs, now that the dust is settled, I can actually move forward a little bit and just get ready for next year. But it's been crazy bonkers. So we'll leave it at that. Have a wonderful day, everyone. Peace.